want to build a small online business from scratch, then this video is for you. I'm in week 8 of recording my progress, creating from scratch a second business for myself. And I am recording my journey with this. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to my world. I'm Sophie, and a few years ago, in 2018 to be precise, so that's kind of like already 6 years ago, I decided that I wanted to learn how to have an online business. I was a stay-at-home mum. I was looking after my 4 kids. We were homeschooling, and I got fed up with not having enough money. And I decided to just learn how to create an online business. And I created this first online business in the make money online niche. What happened was, this wasn't really intentional. What happened was I learned how to do affiliate marketing. I recorded my journey, and I started recommending what I was using to learn and to grow this online business. People started to buy from me, and before you knew it, I was in the make money online niche. But I'm always saying to my audience and customers, I'm always saying, well, you can do affiliate marketing and you can have an online business in absolutely any niche. It doesn't just have to be in the make money online niche. So in September this year, September 2024, I decided to go for it and actually start a second business from scratch in a completely different niche to show people how it's done. I decided I would record my journey from the start, record what I do, show people the success, but also the successes, but also the more difficult moments and the challenges that I face along the way, so that people can just follow along and do the same and hopefully not make my mistakes. So just to be clear, because some people have asked me, this is not that I'm abandoning my first primary business. My first business is still my main priority, and it keeps me quite busy. I'm just building this second business as a kind of side hustle, if you like, as an experiment to show you how it's done and hopefully to add an extra income stream to my own life and business. So when I first started, and you're welcome to check the playlist and see all the videos that I've done, but when I first started, the first thing I needed to do was pick a niche, and I've picked the decluttering niche. Clutter is a problem of mine. It's a pain point of mine. It's not a passion. It's not something I'm really good at. It's just that I have too much clutter in my house, and it's a problem that I really have been wanting to tackle for years. So I decided, well, why not go with that? Why not take something that's difficult, that's a pain in my life, and see if I can tackle that and have less clutter in my life and also turn this into a profitable business. And if I pull that off, I really think that this can help a lot of people out there, because who doesn't have problems? Who doesn't have challenges in their life, right? So if we can turn these into a profitable business, then brilliant. So anyway, I decided to go with the decluttering niche. I decided to create a brand new YouTube channel called Sophie Declutters and record my decluttering journey and see how quickly I can grow an audience in that niche and monetize it, obviously. So every week I've been recording my progress, and this week I'm actually a day late. Normally I publish a video on Friday. But this week, I'll tell you, has been a really tough week for me in terms of work. So this second business, my new business, basically took a back burner because I was giving a live piece of training for my first business, for Sophie Sign Bind. I had a lot of preparation for that live training, many emails to write, many different things to do, and really this second business just had to take the back burner. It's not the priority for me. So I haven't done much, unfortunately, and it's also why I'm a day late reporting my progress. So I'm going to show you how it's grown in the 7 days since I published my last video, and then I'll tell you a few lessons that I've learned from this week. Let's go. So here we are on YouTube, which is where it's all happening for now. So let's go and have a look at my channel. I believe I had 1.6k views last week. It's been now a month, well no, it's been over a month since I created the channel. So I created it on the 19th of September. I started publishing on the 24th of September. So I've published 18 videos, most of them are shorts. And here it is. I've now got 19 subscribers. I had 16 last week, so it's grown, not much, which is not surprising because I haven't published much, but it's grown nonetheless a little bit. And I'm going to show you my analytics because this is really what's interesting. So this week, what's happened is I published this week 3 update of my journey. Okay, and I also did a live declutter with me, which I did on the spur of the moment. I didn't announce it, I didn't schedule it. So basically it had 1 view while I was live and it's had 3 views since, and it really was a flop, but I should have expected it. I mean, for this kind of live, you have to announce it ahead of time and people have to be warned in advance, basically. They're not really going to join this like that, especially with such a small channel. Nobody knows who I am. Nobody's following me. So there you go. So that's all I did. I didn't publish a single short, which obviously is an absolute massive mistake, but there you go. As I say, it just had to take a back burner this week. What I will show you now in my YouTube studio is I'll show you the detailed analytics just so that you have an idea of what's going on behind the scenes. So it is actually growing in spite of everything. So this is the last 28 days. So if I take the last, well, lifetime, let's just say, from the channel, I have had 1.7k views. So it has gone up since last week, because last week it was a month since I'd created the channel, and so over 28 days I basically had 1.6k views. So now if we take, I've had more views since then. I've had 11.4 hours of watch time, and I have had 19 subscribers. So again, if I take the last 28 days, you know, all the indicators are up. The views are going up, the watch time is going up, and the subscribers are going up. But obviously you can see that this curve has been very flat this week compared to the previous week, where I had quite a few peaks and spikes because obviously I was publishing shorts almost every day. So really this was not a good week for me in the sense that I wasn't consistent, and that's not good. I should have been consistent, but we still see growth nonetheless. So what does this all teach us, me, but also you, about building a small online business from scratch? Well, first you have to be consistent. So at the beginning, consistency is even more key, I would say, than when you've got an established audience after a year or two. Because really, you sort of proving yourself not only to your growing audience, but also to the platform where you're growing. YouTube wants to see consistency. And because I wasn't consistent this week, YouTube didn't push my content so much. And again, this is not a criticism of YouTube. This is normal. Because YouTube wants to pick up on some kind of consistency. It's only going to push creators who are really consistent, because consistency means that more people are going to want to subscribe to your channel, come back to your channel, view your videos regularly. So it's not that YouTube is against you or annoyed with you because you're not consistent. It's just the fact that they are going to push creators who are going to attract an audience much more than creators who are very inconsistent, and therefore viewers are just not going to want to watch these videos. So obviously the first 3 weeks I saw relatively fast growth. For YouTube it's relatively fast. I was getting, my views were sort of, I think between week 3 and week 4 or something, my views doubled. So, you know, I was seeing quite a lot of growth, but that I really think is because YouTube was picking up on the fact that I was consistent, and therefore thinking, okay, this creator is going to grow a loyal audience. We're going to show her content we get to push her content, where suddenly there's this dip, and I'm not a proven channel yet that's been consistent for months. So YouTube is like, we're not quite sure. I mean, I'm putting words in YouTube's mouth there, but you get the idea. This is the general picture. So it's my fault, really. As you can see, I'm still getting views. So it's not like YouTube is completely punishing me at all. YouTube wants us to succeed, but obviously we can't ask the platform to push us if as creators we're not very consistent. So there you go. The fact that there was slow growth this week was my fault, and I know why. But this brings me to a topic that I think is really important. When you're creating a small online business and it's a side hustle for you, right? You've got a main occupation, whether it's looking after your children, or your family, or a parent or something, or whether it's having a daytime job, you have a main occupation. And this small online business that you're creating is an extra thing in your life. Now, you obviously have to prioritize, and you have to put in a lot of effort. Otherwise, this small online business will not grow. But at the same time, you cannot systematically put it in front of everything else. Let's say if you have a full-time job and they ask you to put in more hours and all that stuff, that has to be priority, because your full-time job is what pays for your bills every month. So you can't suddenly say to your boss, well, no, actually, I'm not going to do what you're asking me because I want to grow my side hustle. And same with your family. If your children are sick, or they've got a homeschooling inspection, or you have an event for their school or their training or whatever, that has to take priority at times. So the challenge is, when you're growing an online business as a side hustle, is to find this balance. Because yes, you have to prioritize that and be very consistent and turn up every day if possible. But at the same time, you've got all these other priorities that you've got to find this balance. And sometimes it just has to take priority. The rest has to take priority. So this is what I faced this week. I was in the middle of organizing a really important training for my existing audience that I have, that's loyal, that's following me on YouTube, here in my emails, on Facebook and all that stuff. I had to do that. It was really important. It's something that is monetized. It's a source of income for me. It feeds also my existing audience who wants to hear from me. And this week, this had to be my priority. And I just had to let go of this side hustle thing and thinking, well, okay, I won't be consistent this week. I will see a dip in growth, but that's just what I've got to do. And I have to accept that. So I would say, if you're in this position where you're growing a small online business from scratch, and you're doing this as an aside, but you've got a very busy life, either because of a job or because of a family or because of both, you have to weigh what's more important. And it's a balancing act. And you have to really do it and reassess this almost daily, but at least weekly and monthly. So push yourself to turn up every day, but at the same time, be kind to yourself in the days or weeks where it's just not possible. You can't do the impossible, and you have to be okay with that. And you just have to be okay with the fact that as a result, your growth will probably be slower than if you were able to do this 100% full time every day, day in, day out for weeks, right? So these are my lessons learned from this week in my week 8 of growing my small online business from scratch. I will report back next week. I'm going to try, obviously, and be more consistent next week. I've done the bulk of my work for my existing business. So I do think that the coming week is going to be a bit quieter, and I'm going to be able to be much more consistent for Sophie Declutters in the coming week. I will report back next Friday as usual. If you want to follow this journey and do the same, make sure you subscribe to this channel and make sure you comment with any questions that you have. You're also very welcome to join my VIP community, Sophie's Circle, where every Friday I have an online live Zoom call, which I call Fly on the Wall, and where I really take you behind the scenes of how I'm doing all this, and I answer questions, and I really invite people to do this with me if they want to. So if you want even more behind the scenes secrets, then you can join Sophie's Circle. You simply go to sophiescircle.net. It costs $9 a month. You get a ton of free training, a lot of my help and all this stuff. And you are very welcome to join, obviously. So with that being said, I'm going to love you and leave you. If you want to catch the very beginning of this journey, just watch this video next. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now.